everyone. My name is Georgette Truen. I am the host of Fight CPS with Miss G, and I also work for attorney Vincent Davis. So I was talking to a young lady. Her case is in California. I'm not going to mention the name of the county, but this is very interesting. I know that county very well. But, anyways, so the social workers now are ordering air tags from Amazon. Air tags to monitor the kids. So the social worker told the caregiver not to tell the mother anything about the air tags. And they said that one for each child and the other air tag to be the actual caregiver that's watching the child that's going to supervise the visits. So this is new to me, very new, never heard of this before. But again, they're ordering air tags from Amazon to put in each of the child, like to make sure that the child has the air tag on them. Okay. Again, I have never heard of anything like this before. This is completely new to me. Attorney Davis is going to have a show after this one with me, and I'm going to discuss this with him on the show because it just makes absolutely no sense. And as I mentioned, I know that courthouse so very well, and nothing should shock me. And when it pertains to CPS, nothing should shock me, but this one shocked me. The air tags part shocked me. Okay. It makes zero sense. Okay. Some of you guys asked me several questions today from the moment I started work until a few minutes ago. When is the best time to hire an attorney? And I told all of them from the beginning of the case. But each and every one of them from different states, different counties are all stuck on the same thing. If the social worker tells you they're going to promise you that the child back or the children back, and it's not in writing, don't believe them. Don't believe them because it doesn't make sense. If they want to return the child to you, it shouldn't take until May, right? It shouldn't take until March. It shouldn't take until December for you to for the children to be returned back to you. Another thing that I'm going to discuss with Attorney Davis after this show, at the 2:30 show, is that they're promising now, the DAs are promising now that the child will be placed immediately. Now, again, if the child is going to be placed in your custody immediately, back in your custody immediately, why should it take a month for you to get your child back? Because the county, they're getting funding. They're getting funding for every time the child is in their care. So why would they lose the funding and return the child back to you that fast, right? So if they're going to say your child is going to be placed with you immediately, when is immediately? Immediately is not next month. It's not the month after. It's not, mid-December. No, the child would not even be a day away from you right now. I had another question, another concern from another mother. She said that her case was domestic violence, and it was a verbal domestic violence, and the grandmother, the paternal grandmother, was present during that verbal domestic violence, and the domestic violence was not even physical. Like I said, it was verbal disagreement between the mother, the biological mother, and the father, the biological dad. So the paternal grandmother was there with the children, and the children are triplets. They're infants, triplets. Okay, infants. They're only a month old. So they don't hear anything. They don't know anything, what's going on. The grandmother was with them in the room. Now, the paternal grandmother came out, and the disagreement was about the dishwasher. That's it. It was about the dishwasher. and that the husband was telling the wife that she's not doing enough chores, and they were arguing back and forth, but verbal disagreement. The grandmother said, that's a perfect opportunity for my son to get out of this marriage, so let me call 911. She called 911. 911 involved CPS, because automatically, when you have minor children at the home, CPS will be notified. Whether you like it or not, CPS will be notified. Then when CPS got notified, they came that night, she said, and on Valentine's Day, they came that night and they removed the twins. The grandmother called the department and told them that she's the grandmother and she wants placement of the twins. And the social worker told her no, that they're going to that they're going to take it to court, and the judge will to make that determination. But she told the grandmother no. And the grandmother started crying. And when I was talking to the mother on the phone, the grandmother was crying, and she took the phone from her and she said it was all her fault. She doesn't know how to fix the situation now. She just thought that she can save her son because he's not happy in his marriage, etc., etc. You can't fix the situation. It's done. The damage is done. If you break a vase in a million pieces, how are you going to fix it? You can't. A million pieces, you can't even glue it together. So the damage is done. Now what's important is for you to get an attorney. Get an attorney, so that way your attorney can be your voice with CPS. Oftentimes we think we know what we're doing, but oftentimes, as you guys are very well aware, CPS will lie to you to give you false hope, so they can enter your life. Remember, you're allowing them in your life the minute you open the door to them. And you have nothing to hide. All that great, nice stuff that you guys think that you're good parents, you have nothing to hide. But the minute you open your mouth to a social worker, as God is my witness, you get a copy of that report, and everything you said will contradict everything they wrote down. So it doesn't matter how great of a parent you are. It doesn't matter. And stop thinking that they only take children from drug addicts. Okay? Stop assuming that that's why they take children. I need you guys to understand, they will take your child regardless of who you are or what you are. You can have 100 letters from your neighbors writing what a great person you are, from your friends, from your coworkers, from the vice president of the company you work for. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a CPS defense attorney that you hired with your own money, not a family law attorney, a CPS defense attorney, for God's sakes, you guys are calling the wrong offices. So might as well just stay with your court-appointed attorney if that's the case. You need a CPS defense attorney to fight your case immediately. You will be discouraged by the social worker, but never tell your enemy what you're going to do next. Because the social worker is going to say, no, you don't need an attorney. You're going to have your kids in 3 months. You just have to do these classes and everything will be okay. That's far from the truth. You need to lawyer up immediately. Even an attorney from New York, his name is Michael, he says the same thing when he was on the show. Do not think that CPS is going to literally give you your child back if you're done with these classes. It doesn't work that way. They're not going to give up their incentives. They're not going to give up their money, period. I want you guys to listen to something. Hold on a second. I'm going to get it for you right now. Here we go. I hope you guys can hear it.
Listen to what Hungary's and social workers are often guilty of fraud. They withhold and destroy evidence. and they seek wrongly to terminate parental rights while being protected by state immunity. There is a huge bureaucracy made up of judges, court-appointed attorneys, guardian ad litems, social workers, state employees, court investigators, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, foster parents, adoptive parents, and on, who are looking to the children in state care for their job security. Judges have control over private living arrangements and income of 48.3 million Americans. The United States Census Bureau reported in 2002 that 40 billion in transfer payments were made between households of custody parents and other parents. That money, 40 billion, is under the direction and control of family court judges in environments covered with confidentiality laws that protect the wrong people. Fathers are victims of this unjust system. Child support payments, even without having visits with their children, are choking the very life out of fathers. 3 fathers, of whom I am aware and have been in touch with, committed suicide in the last 12 months because they lost the opportunity to even visit with their children. These are crimes against humanity for financial gain. Rights are removed from parents, human rights, civil rights, and even religious rights. And social workers are often guilty of fraud. They withhold and destroy evidence, and they seek wrongly to terminate parental rights while being protected by state immunity. There is a huge bureaucracy made up of judges, court-appointed attorneys, guardian ad litems, social workers, state employees, court investigators, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, foster parents, adoptive parents, and on and on.
So, guys, this is all true. This is Nancy Schaefer. If you guys don't know who she is, she was a senator for Georgia. When she exposed the whole system, she received death threat. She exposed the government. She exposed Bill Clinton. She exposed the whole Clinton family. In fact, she exposed everything that the departments of children and family services do against your rights as a parent and your children's rights. It's all money related. That's why they lie to you. That's why they make up stories. That's why they promise you things that they don't hold on to and make it happen. They literally dismiss you and they laugh at you behind your back. And some of them actually laugh at your pain right in front of you. Social workers are not designed, they're not designed to be compassionate, level-headed, fair. They're not designed for that. Social workers are designed to bring children to the department to make money. If you are a compassionate worker and that you stand up for what's right, they're going to fire you. There's a case right now in Georgia where they have 2 whistleblowers from the Department of Children and Family Services. And one of them contacted me, and me and her we're gonna have a talk, okay, over like on Zoom. But what I'm trying to tell you guys, she said she was with them for so long, 11 years. When she opened her mouth and she said, this is wrong, she was terminated. She was terminated. You cannot tell them this is wrong. If you're going to come between them and money, they're going to get rid of you. So you honestly think, you guys, you know what you're doing when it comes to your case. because you think you're 2 steps ahead of them when the actuality they are 200 steps ahead of you. Before the minute before they put their legs on the gas pedal to drive to your home, they already know exactly what's going to happen. So you're the last one to know. But they already know what's going to happen on your case. And they already know that this child or these children are going to be placed in a foster home that wants to adopt these children. So don't be fooled. Nancy Schaefer, God rest her soul. That woman fought. She was a fighter. No one had the balls to come out the way she did and exposed the system. So I'm telling you right now, do not think that they are your friends. Do not think that they are there to help you and your children. They're not using the incentive money. They're not using the federal money to help the family. They're using the federal money to remove your children and place them in a foster home so they can keep getting more money. So lawyer up. There's no price over your child. You need to lawyer up because they will get their money. Do not believe them. I'm telling you over and over again, do not believe them. And the fact that this mother told me about the air tags, now that they're ordering now, that's crazy. That's crazy. What are they going to do? Tattoo numbers on our foreheads next? I mean, I don't understand. What are they going to do? They're going to stick a chip in our hands or arms? It doesn't make sense anymore. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And we need to focus on taking these judges out by re-electing judges. I mean, replacing them with judges that we see fit. Because all these judges, they're going to get another term if you don't vote. You guys have no idea how important your votes are. These judges are literally sitting on they're just sitting there. God knows what they're doing, farting or, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Because oftentimes we hear about DAs who are corrupt, judges who are corrupt. This is getting worse. It's getting worse. You think Fannie Willis in Georgia, the DA, you think that's the only corruption? No, there's corruption with the district attorney office in Los Angeles County. In Los Angeles County, district attorney's office is corrupt. They literally screw each other. Literally sleep with each other. And sleep with clients and marry them. They literally destroy people's lives. Purposely. This crap has been going on for a long time, and we, the people, are paying their salary. And I don't know how many times I have to tell you that. So if you are paying their salary, why would you not vote? Why would you allow the same judge to be reelected? Think about it for a second. We're allowing it to happen. You're allowing yourself to go the cheap way and literally just keep the court-appointed attorney who's not doing anything for your case. I've heard it from three parents today. Ms. G, I just didn't want to pay the money. I just didn't want to pay the money, but I had the money. Why? Why would you do that? Think about it. Get your children back. Do not think that these people are there to help you. Why do you think the court-appointed attorney just tells you, just listen to the social worker, follow everything the social worker tells you to do? Why do you think that? Because you don't pay them. They don't work for you. They don't work for you. That's all they know. They're court-appointed attorneys, but they're not really CPS defense attorneys. Because if they are CPS defense attorneys, I don't know about all of them, but some of them, or most of them are not CPS defense attorneys. They came from criminal, they came from immigration law. They're really not that savvy. So when you hire the best of the best as a CPS defense attorney, you are going to get your children back. But you can't wait too long. Can't wait too long because they mess up your case so badly that attorney that you hire has to now fix everything, come up with a strategy to literally destroy everything they already have against you. Don't speak to the social workers either. This one of the mothers today and last week, two different moms said that they quoted the Bible. They kept saying, God is good. God is bigger than you. God is this. Why would you tell a demon about God? Right? Why are you venting out with them? These people don't have God in their heart. So why are you venting out with them? You think that's going to save you? No. Even Jesus said, don't be hypocrites like the synagogue, preaching out loud on the street for everyone to hear. So the louder you are, the more religious you are, I guess, or something like that. No, they don't care about your God. They don't care about your relationship with Christ. They don't care about any of that. They just want your child. So there's nothing you can say or do that's going to prevent them from taking your baby. So you have to think wise. You have to be smart. You have to remain calm. I know it's hard. Don't think I don't know it's hard. You cry. I know you. I'm a mom. I know. I know. Because your child is your heart. I get it. But you have to be smart when you're dealing with demons. You have to be smart. You need to lawyer up, for God's sakes. If you don't have money, borrow money. Do whatever you can to hire an attorney immediately. That's the only thing I can tell you. And you guys ask me a lot of legal questions. I have like 18 messages. Legal questions. Miss G, when should I hire an attorney? And if I do hire an attorney, what is the attorney going to do? Because now it's my TPR. What should I do now? It's my TPR. TPR is termination of parental rights, for God's sakes. Termination of parental rights. Meaning, if your rights are terminated, guess what? Your mother's rights is terminated. Your sister's rights are terminated. Your godson's rights are terminated. That means the whole family is terminated. One father asked, well, my wife's rights are terminated. Why would my rights be terminated? I said, well, Attorney Davis, I actually texted him last week and I asked him that question. And he said, because they count the parents together. But then when you're in court hearings, you guys are divided. You guys are separated. But one parent's rights is terminated, the other one's rights is terminated because they say the father failed to protect. That's what's in the court order. I mean, in the documents, the findings. The father failed to protect the child because he allowed the mother around them. But how, when he had 50-50 custody from family court? He already addressed all that in family court. He told them she's an alcoholic, she's a drug user, she falls asleep, she buys drugs, she neglects the children's health, she doesn't cook for the children. He addressed all of that in family court, but in family court, they see that joint custody is the best thing for the child. I get that. I understand that. But the mother needed help. I'm not saying she's a bad mom. I'm saying she needed help. But he did exactly what the order says. But CPS said he's unfit because he failed to protect when he had no other choice but to follow the court order. And that's when you need to lawyer up. If you're in family court and this happens to you, lawyer up. If your lawyer is not doing his or her job, get another attorney. Lawyer up. Because that attorney especially an attorney that is a CPS defense attorney and a family law attorney that understands both sides, he will know what to do in that situation. Because if anything goes wrong, it's going to turn into a CPS matter. And that's why it's important how you handle family law cases. In family court is different than in CPS courts. State family are not the same. State is higher courts, family is not. Family is lower courts. The state judge has more power than a family court judge. So if you have joint custody, you cannot tell the social worker she cannot remove your child because you have joint custody in family court. Because the state has the power to remove that custody from you and assign the custody to them. And they make the decision over your child or children. You have to be very mindful on the fact that anything can go wrong. So from day one, lawyer up with a good attorney that understands CPS and understands family court. Again, I can't emphasize enough to you how important that is. There is absolutely no price over your child. I'm sorry, there's no price over your child. I helped a father in 2022, October of 2022, who literally sold everything he had. I swear, I'm not joking, you guys. He had two 1970s or some 1960s classic cars. He sold them. He sold another bike, a Harley bike that was a classic bike. He sold everything he had, got his kids back. He hired Attorney Davis, got his kids back. And then after that, he went after them. That's the smart way to do it. You can replace things, but you cannot replace your child. And that's why they come between you and family. Why do they come between you and family? Because they want to disconnect you away from your family. So when your family listens to their allegations against you and they believe them, they're going to disconnect you away financially from them. So they will not want to help you financially. So also it's important for your family to understand that. And I hope to God you have them watch the Relatives Fight CPS show that I have. I hope to God you can just share that with them because they need to hear the truth. Everything they say about you or against you, they're literally doing it to sabotage any chance you have for any support financially, mentally, and emotionally. They want to destroy any chance of that. Because once you're strong and once you're standing up and you're doing the right thing, they fear that. They don't want that. They want to destroy that. You guys have no idea how much I want every child back home. Because that's the only way I feel happy and like I feel like something happened that's great because I want to destroy that entity so badly. And the only way to destroy them is by making sure every child is back home where they belong. And when I say home, I'm talking about family. I'm talking about family, your best friend, the godmother of your child or children, all of that. They all should come priority. But they don't want that. Attorney Davis mentioned numerous times that if your mother lives in Kentucky and your case is in Los Angeles County, and you give your attorney, supposedly your court appointed attorney, you give them 100 names of family members and friends outside of LA County. Your attorney, if he's a CPS defense attorney, he will know what to do with that list. But what do? You email them the list or you give the social worker the list. And then after that, they tell the judge either they called everyone and nobody responded. That's a lie, number one. So you mean to tell me they called 100 family members and not one person responded? Not one person responded. That doesn't make any sense, right? If you have a right attorney, that's number one that he will address. Number two, they will make excuses why they don't want the child to go to Kentucky. They will make you know why? Because they're going to lose the funding. Because Kentucky will take over. So everything that they do, they have wicked intentions behind it. And their intentions is not for your child's own good, or for your own good. How many times have you guys texted me last week and said to me, Miss G, the child's attorney said that she spoke to my children and my child said they don't want to see me. Well, then the child says, I never met with her. Why isn't your court appointed attorney saying something? If you guys really think about it, you guys have the right to have your kids back. You just don't have the right defense for it. Because you guys think you know what the defense should be based on somebody else's opinion. I have another lady, mother that texted me and said, I did everything Attorney Davis said to do on the shows, meaning she's been following his show for like 6 months, and she did everything he said to do and she lost. Mr. Davis never said to follow his instructions on your own. He always says to get an attorney, a CPS defense attorney. Every case yet looks the same because they all have your kids, but it's still different. There's different strategies, there's different, everything is different about it. Even the people in court, Attorney Davis mentioned that the people in court are all different, meaning your court appointed attorney, the district attorney, they're all different than the other people's case and who was involved. They have different personalities. You need to know that attorney that you hire understands, especially if they've been doing this for over 30 years. They understand what's going on. So don't think that you know it. Don't think that somebody else is helping you, or don't think you just listening to Attorney Davis's videos. It's good to have knowledge. Knowledge is the key. Absolutely. But you can't exercise that knowledge when you don't know what you're doing. Because oftentimes we hear Attorney Davis says that something, but it's not going to work for you because your case is different. And the hearings that you have as well, all the hearings that you have in stages, there's a stage for everything. So the strategy is different. You're dealing with a different court, different department, different whatever. But you still need to lawyer up. I have seen, and I've mentioned this to you guys before, I have seen Attorney Davis in action. I have seen him in court. I've seen what he does. He's a sweetheart on the videos, you guys, he's a sweetheart, he's calm and all that. But his way in court is completely different. His demeanor is different. He's only after one thing, is to get your child home. Davis doesn't like to lose. I remember one court hearing we went to, I think it was in Marietta. And he says to me, he said, I'm not going to lose. No, 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 no. As soon as we went, the mother knows me from watching my shows. She has 5 kids. We went, he won. All the kids came, the kids were there at that time. And the mother came crying, hugging Mr. Davis and hugging me, and the kids were all hugging him. When you guys do it his way, and that's what the mother told me. She said, I'm so glad I listened to Mr. Davis. Do it his way. You guys think he doesn't know. He knows. How do you think he made it to be an attorney for 38 years? You think he made it by him not knowing? Oftentimes you guys say, Mr. Davis, He doesn't remember. I spoke with him last week. Well, he speaks to thousands of people. That doesn't mean anything. You guys have to understand that when you have been dealing with this for so long, you master it. You master it. There's no way that parents can master what Attorney Davis mastered in 38 years because you don't know. You know, Heather, that question is silly. Let me explain why. We don't keep records. Davis doesn't have time to keep records, but his cases are pretty good. Only if the client listens to him. When the client becomes antsy, pantsy, and they're not listening to him and they want things to be done their way, then I don't suggest you should hire an attorney. Because at the end of the day, he knows what he's doing. You guys think, he's not responding back to you because he doesn't know. He knows. He knows. Oftentimes he would say something to a client and the client understands it a different way. So what happens? They involve me in the meeting. He knows that. They involve me in the meeting. And then I explain it to them. He's explaining it in a lawyer way. I'm explaining it in a civilian way. Let me put it to you that way. The way they will understand it better. So what they do, they include me in their meetings. I have a meeting with them and Attorney Davis in the office next Saturday. They wanted me there so I can explain it to them. Oftentimes you guys think you hear what Attorney Davis is saying and you conclude it your own way instead of getting clarification for it. If you guys wanted clarification, just call me or text me. Say, hey, Miss GM, can we have, me and you and Mr. Davis, and then maybe you can explain it to me better. Then I would be happy to do that. But don't automatically think you know what you're doing. And for you to say, well, how many cases has he won? How many cases has that person won? Well, guess what? You can Google how many cases, how many attorneys have 5 stars, complete 5 stars. And they lose cases, but they don't say anything on it. It's not about the stars. It's not about that. It's about who you are getting in your corner and who you need to listen to. If you're not an attorney, I suggest you listen to your attorney. And I'm not referring this to the public defenders. Please, it's not the public defenders I'm referring that to. CPS defense attorney is extremely important. I am proud to actually be present right here on his platform and discussing all this with you guys. I have seen him in action. I've seen him do a lot of great things. You guys have no idea. When he sets his mind on something, he will make it happen. He will make it happen. But the negativity in your mouth, the clients, the parents, is what hinders you. Don't speak ill about yourself or your case. You have to think positive. And stop giving ear to everyone around you because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Remember that. So, if you guys need me, how many years? Yes, sweetheart. He's been doing that for a very long time. But Heather, if you're trying to get a hold of me, my direct number, you can text me your full name at 626-631-8901. My email address is GAT as in Tom at vincentwdavis.com. You can also email me synopsis about your case. Make sure you include the date, the year the child or the children were removed. and what county the case is in, and when your next hearing is, and what type of hearing it is. Include all that. And of course, include your full name and your phone number. You guys can get a hold of me. I will do everything in my power to do whatever I can to help you out. But do not just sit there and think that miracles are going to happen because you're waiting. Help yourself so God can intervene. Okay? Um, oh, Heather, is that you? Oh, yeah, Massey. Okay, I get it now. I'm so sorry, sweetie. You have your name written all weird. And yeah, I see that now. Yes, good. Heather, I'm going to call you right after the show. I promise you. Yes, we did. So, hi, Melissa. Hi, Stacy. I love you, Stacy. I love you, Melissa. I love you guys so much. So, yes, if you guys need me, again, my number is 626-631-8901, or you can call the 888 number right near my shoulder on the side and ask for Georgette or Miss G, whichever, and then they will transfer the call to me, or if I'm on the phone, they will take a message. If you want to email me synopsis, make sure you include your full name, your phone number, guys, so I can be able to contact you. And write a short story about what's going on and what county the case is in and what type of hearing and when is that hearing, that's upcoming hearing. That is very important information that I need as well. Um, my email address, again, I'm going to repeat it, is gat@vincentwdavis.com. Okay, so you have two ways to get a hold of me. And if you have any legal questions, go ahead and write it down in the body of the email. And I'm going to discuss with Attorney Davis. Okay. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do everything I can to help you guys out. So I'm going to end the show now. There's another show at 2:30 with Attorney Davis and myself. It's called Office Hours. So stay tuned right after this 2:30 show with Attorney Davis and myself. Okay. Right now it's 2:17, sorry, 2:17 p.m. right now. Again, call me, text me, email me. I will be available for you guys. God bless you all, and I will see you guys at 2:30. Bye-bye.